Hello and welcome to the overview video for the Ultimate Turn-Based Battle System for Unity. The Ultimate Turn-Based Battle System is a complete toolkit for quickly building strategic turn-based battles for your own game projects. It includes the core battle logic, editor tools, example scenes, battle UI, heroes, enemies, and many other systems that are usually needed when creating an RPG battle system. A good turn-based battle system can become one of the most complex parts of an RPG. You need turn order, targeting, damage calculation, skills, items, and much more. This toolkit is built to give you a strong foundation. So you can spend less time building the technical battle framework from scratch and more time focusing on your world, your story, your characters, and your game design. In this video, I want to give you a general overview of how the toolkit is structured and what it can do. This is not meant to be a full tutorial, but rather a first look at the general setup, the most important objects, and the main tools that are included. Besides this overview video, I will gradually create and upload a full tutorial series that covers every major feature of the Ultimate Turn-Based Battle System in more detail. The tutorial playlist is linked in the description, so make sure to check it out and subscribe to follow future videos. There is also a full written documentation available for the Ultimate Turn-Based Battle System. The documentation is linked on the Unity Asset Store product page and also in the description of this video. It is the best place to look up the individual components, systems, setup steps, and workflow details while using the toolkit. Let's start by taking a look at one of the example scenes that comes with the Ultimate Turn-Based Battle System. Each example scene is already set up with everything needed to test battles directly inside Unity. In the hierarchy, you will usually find a main camera, an event system, the UTBBS object, and an encounters object. The most important object here is the UTBBS game object. The UTBBS object is the heart of the battle system. It contains the core components and child objects that are needed to run battles. This includes the battle state machine, party management, inventory and money management, dictionaries, indicators, UI references, battle persistence, and other supporting systems. The main component on this object is the battle state machine. The battle system is built around a state machine. This means that the battle logic is split into individual states instead of being handled by one huge script. For example, there is a state for starting the battle, initializing the battle screen, spawning characters, setting up the UI, creating the turn order, handling player turns, handling enemy turns, updating the battle, and ending the battle. This makes the system easier to understand, easier to expand, and safer to modify. Each state has one clear responsibility. If you want to add new logic later, you can do that in a more controlled way without touching one giant battle script where everything is connected at once. Now let's start a battle from one of the examples and see the state machine in action. To start an example battle, we expand the encounters game object. Inside you can find one or more encounter objects. During play mode, each encounter has a start battle button in its custom inspector. For this overview, let's start the Burning Temple example. When we click Start Battle, the battle begins immediately. If we inspect the battle state machine while the battle is running, we can see useful runtime information. The state machine shows the current battle state, and it also displays turn information such as the previous turn character, the current turn character, the next turn character, and the full turn order list across all active heroes and enemies. The turn order is based on the speed stat. Heroes and enemies are collected into one list, sorted by their speed value, and then processed one after another. This allows fast characters to act earlier in battle. The battle state machine also stores important references for the current battle. This includes the active heroes, active enemies, reserve enemies, the current battle screen, the current battle background, the selected enemy team, calculation data, and other runtime values. The active heroes come from the Party Manager, which is also part of the UTBBS setup. The Party Manager defines which heroes are available in your game and which of them start as active party members. It also stores reserve heroes, so you can create parties where only some heroes are currently on the battlefield, while others are available for switching or reserve progression. The party system also keeps important runtime values such as current HP, MP, level, and EXP. This makes it possible for hero values to persist between battles. Next to the Party Manager, the UTBBS object also contains the Money Manager and the Inventory Manager. The Money Manager stores the player's current money amount and can save and load that value. The Inventory Manager stores the items and equipment available to the player. Together with the Battle Persistence Controller, these systems allow party, money, and inventory data to be saved and loaded. The UTBBS object also contains dictionaries. The Hero Dictionary stores all hero prefabs that should be available in the project. The Item Dictionary and Equipment Dictionary are part of the inventory catalog and store the item and equipment data assets that the inventory system can resolve during save and load. This is important because the battle system needs reliable references to the heroes, items, and equipment that are allowed to exist in the playable game. Now let's look at the battle scene itself. When a battle starts, the battle system uses a battle screen prefab. A battle screen contains the visual layout of the battle. It defines the battle background, hero positions, enemy positions, sorting setup, camera setup, and the battle UI. The main camera in the scene is not directly used during battle. It is still useful for your normal game scene, for example for your character controller or overworld gameplay. But once the battle starts, the battle is rendered through the camera inside the battle screen setup. When the battle ends, the normal scene camera can be reactivated. The battle UI is also part of the battle screen setup. In the example scenes, the UI object is usually named with a BUI prefix. This UI prefab contains the visible battle interface, including hero panels, action buttons, skill panels, item panels, target panels, switch panels, notifications, info boxes, and result UI elements. The UI is fully customizable. The example scenes show different visual styles, and the battle UI prefabs can be replaced or modified to match your own game. During battle, you can see several systems working together. The player can choose actions such as attacking, using skills, using items, defending, or switching heroes. Skills and items can have different target modes, different damage types, different affinities, healing effects, status effects, visual effects, and damage number pop-ups. Enemies use their own enemy side systems. They have their own HP, MP, stats, affinities, skills, status effects, and level setup. Enemy teams define which enemies appear in a battle, what level they have, how much EXP and money they reward, and which items or equipment they can drop. The battle system also supports active and reserve enemies. If an enemy team contains more enemies than the current battle screen has active enemy positions, additional enemies can be stored as reserve enemies and enter the battle later. Now let's take a closer look at the hero and enemy builds. A hero build is the actual hero prefab that can be spawned into battle. It usually contains a root object tagged as hero. On this root object are the main hero systems, such as the hero data holder, level system, HP system, MP system, stat system, affinity system, equipment system, skill system, status effect system, and defense system. The hero data holder connects the prefab to its hero data asset. The level system manages the hero's current level and EXP. The HP and MP systems calculate current and maximum HP and MP based on the hero's level. The stat system calculates the final stat values by combining base stats, equipment bonuses, and status effect modifiers. The affinity system stores how the hero reacts to different damage types. For example, a hero can be normal against fire, weak against ice, resistant to wind, block physical damage, repel lightning, or absorb a specific element. The skill system checks which skills the hero has learned based on the current level. The status effect system manages active effects such as poison, regeneration, buffs, debuffs, MP drain, or turn-based effects. The defense system tracks whether the hero is currently defending and can reduce incoming damage using the defend multiplier from the calculation settings. The hero also has a character child object. This contains the visible sprite, animator, and animation handler. The animation handler connects animation events back to the battle state machine, so the battle logic can wait for attack, damage, block, repel, absorb, spawn, despawn, defend, item, or death animations to finish before continuing. Enemy builds are structured in a similar way. An enemy build has an enemy data holder, level system AI, HP system AI, MP system AI, stat system AI, affinity system AI, skill system AI, and status effect system AI. These components work like the hero systems, but are designed for enemies. Enemy builds are assigned to enemy teams. Enemy teams are then assigned to encounters. When an encounter starts, the battle system uses the enemy team data to spawn the correct enemies into the battle. Now let's look at the encounter component. Encounters are how battles are started. In the example scenes, the encounter's game object contains child objects with encounter components. Each encounter references an enemy team data asset. It can also optionally override the battle screen, battle background, and other battle settings. When start battle is called, the encounter passes its enemy team and settings to the battle state machine. The state machine then starts the battle flow. This means that in your own game, you can start battles by calling start battle on an encounter component. For example, you could do this when the player touches an enemy, enters a trigger zone, interacts with an NPC, or reaches a story event. Next, let's look at the custom editor window that comes with the ultimate turn-based battle system. The toolkit includes a dedicated window that can be opened inside Unity and docked anywhere in your editor layout. This window is the main creation hub for the battle system. It provides tools for creating the core assets and prefabs needed by the kit. The window includes several tabs. The Stats tab defines the global stat list used by heroes, enemies, equipment, and formulas. For example, you can define stats like strength, defense, magic defense, speed, or agility. These stats then become available for hero and enemy creation. The Affinities tab defines the global affinity list. Affinities are damage types or elements such as physical, fire, ice, electric, wind, or lightning. Heroes and enemies can react to each affinity with normal, weak, resist, block, repel, or absorb. The Status Effects tab is used to create status effect assets. Status effects can modify HP, MP, or stats. They can add or subtract flat values, apply percentage-based changes, trigger once, trigger every turn, trigger randomly, last for a number of turns, last until the next turn, or last until the end of battle. The Skills tab is used to create skill assets. Skills can deal damage, heal HP or MP, apply status effects, remove status effects, use affinities, use physical or magical damage types, consume MP, target different groups, spawn visual effects, and display damage number pop-ups. The Battle Screen tab is used to create battle screen prefabs. A battle screen defines the visual layout of a battle. Here you can set the battle background, battle music, hero positions, enemy positions, facing direction, sorting order, and camera setup. This allows you to create different battle layouts for different areas, encounters, or game styles. The Create Hero tab is used to create hero data and hero build prefabs. Here you can set the hero name, sprite, portrait, max level, HP and MP growth, stat growth, affinities, skills, and animation setup. The Generate Hero build can then be added to the Hero Dictionary and Party Manager. The Create Enemy tab works similarly, but for enemies. It creates enemy data and enemy build prefabs. You can configure enemy HP, MP, stats, affinities, skills, level scaling, and animation setup. The Create Enemy Team tab is used to group enemies into encounter-ready teams. Each enemy entry can have its own level. EXP reward, money reward, item drops, equipment drops, and drop chances. Enemy team assets are then assigned to encounter components. The Create Item tab is used to create usable item assets. Items can heal HP, restore MP, deal damage, apply status effects, remove status effects, use affinities, target allies or enemies, spawn effects, and display damage numbers. The Equipment Types tab defines the equipment categories used by the hero equipment system. By default, the system includes weapon, shield, and armor. but you can add your own types if your project needs them. The Create Equipment tab is used to create equipment assets. Equipment can have an icon, name, description, equipment type, HP bonus, MP bonus, and stat bonuses. These bonuses can then be applied to heroes through the equipment system. Finally, the Calculations tab controls the core battle calculation settings. Here you can edit the physical and magical damage formulas, damage variation, minimum damage, critical hit multiplier, critical hit probability formula, weakness multiplier, resistance multiplier, and defend multiplier. This makes the system highly customizable. You are not locked into one specific damage formula, one specific balance style, or one specific way of building your battles. You can shape the calculations, content, and battle setup to fit your own RPG. Together, all of these systems form the first complete release of the ultimate turn-based battle system. And while this version already provides a strong and flexible foundation for building turn-based RPG battles in Unity, I still have many ideas for the future. There are a lot of features I would still like to add to make the battle system even more versatile. But if I tried to include every single idea from the beginning, it would probably take a few more years before I could release it. So this is the first complete version, and from here I will continue to improve the toolkit with regular updates, new features, and bug fixes. Some of my ideas for future updates include expanding the status effect creator with even more options, adding more settings to the Calculations tab, creating visual and audio transitions when battles start, adding support for switching defeated heroes, expanding healing options, and much more. So I hope you stick around and watch the ultimate turn-based battle system evolve and become even more ultimate over time. But for this, I also need your help. If you have ideas, feature wishes, feedback, or if you find any bugs, please join the official Arctentran Discord server and let me know. Your feedback helps shape the future of the toolkit and helps me decide what to improve or add next. That was the general overview of the ultimate turn-based battle system. If you want to learn the individual systems in more detail, make sure to check out the tutorial playlist linked in the description. There you will find more focused tutorials about setting up battles, creating heroes, creating enemies, building skills, creating status effects, using battle screens, and working with the different systems included in the kit. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you understand the ultimate turn-based battle system, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more tutorials, updates, and deep dives into the toolkit. There's a lot more coming, and I hope this system helps you build the RPG battle system your game deserves.